Daniel, nice to see you. I don't think we've had a chance to work together yet, so excited to get to know you more. I guess I'll let you be the first one. What can I help you with? What are you working on?
Thank you very much, Alim. I'm glad to be here and seeing you for the first time, the man himself.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm working on an app. I'll just be sharing my screen that basically brings the opportunity to people to find each other based on their interests. So you have the option to add interests to your profile. You have 10 slots and you have these interests and passions and areas you'd like to explore more. And you just add whatever you like and you can add whatever interest you want. And there, from there on, you'll be able to get searched. And yeah, that's basically it. And that's the thing I was working on for the last few months. And I'm so happy to have had the chance to work with you. I would have never been able to get this that far. And yeah, thank you
I'm happy
for
to hear that.
sending
No,
me a link.
I'm very happy to hear that. And I wish I could say it was all me, but everybody on this call knows I would be lying. We have an incredible team. So I hope you're okay with me telling a interesting story. But
Please.
the only reason I'm here in this seat today is because of this app I just sent everybody in the chat. Actually haven't told this story to anyone, but I went to school at San Jose State University, which is like smack dab heart of Silicon Valley. Like you can see Apple, Google, Adobe like from campus. And the reason I went there was because A, I couldn't afford to get into pay for a better school. B, I didn't have the grades to get into a better school. And C, I knew I needed to be in Silicon Valley to be in tech. So anyways, back at San Jose State, everybody has an app idea. Like literally every single entrepreneurship student or business student or even computer science student had an app idea.
At least one.
Everybody did. Everybody. Yeah. And so I was walking on campus one day and this random guy named Amir, he's one of my good friends. We still are in touch. He handed me like a card, like about this big, like just like a card. And it said, download Campus Chill and meet your perfect friend. And I was like, all right, cool. So it was an app just like yours. The app doesn't exist today, and I'll tell you the whole story, but it was an app just like this, where you open the app and it would give you two cards, like one on top of the other. And it would say like building model rockets on the top card. And then the bottom card would say like studying. And your job was to tap which one you would rather do. And it gave you like 20 or 30 of those in one session. And it used a binary sort kind of system where you would just pick one or the other. And as you kept doing those, exercises, like, going to the beach or going to the mall, photography or writing code. And you would just keep doing that, and it would build a profile about you. And then based on the profile, it would recommend you friends that shared similar interests, like science, entrepreneurship, going out, spending money, blah, 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 blah. And so then it would recommend friends. Turns out that I matched with the founder of the app. And what do you know? I'm an app guy. And so I ended up matching with the founder of the app. His name was Chuck. And then he was like, bro, like we have like, the 99% match, like we should hang out sometime. So I ended up hanging out with him one day. We got coffee. Turned out to be a really cool dude. And he was actually working for a company called SeasonShare. And you guys might have heard this part of my story, but SeasonShare was the first company I ever started. Chuck hired me on. Chuck ended up leaving a couple months later to pursue his own. But then I ended up stepping up to be the CTO and co-founder of SeasonShare. And so crazy story, but my whole journey in startups started with this app called Campus Chill, which reminds me a lot about your app. It did really well. It had like 20 or 30,000 users across multiple campuses, and it was doing really well. So I definitely think there's a market. The trick that the reason that his app was so successful was because of how sticky he made that like sorting experience where you just clicked one or the other. But yeah, that's my story about your app.
That makes definitely sense, and it's a great inspiration. Thank you for bringing that up. It's very helpful for me. So yeah, in the last few weeks, I've been hearing so many things, and it's great to be able to talk also to people in my area, because I'm living in Austria and the tech scene is very small and there are very little people, actually I'm living in a valley in the mountains, and yeah, the scene is quite small, but I'm always happy to see and also hear from people here who made experiences with apps that get into similar fields. But yeah, I just gotta explore the whole market and what is possible. And my goal for this is to like make it or expand it into the way where people like freelancers are also able to add what they are pursuing, what they are good at, and other people could just like search for a lighting guy for a film production, for example, and they see these people being listed on there, and they're not dependent on any website and SEO or whatever kind of stuff, and that was like the another vision I was having when the interests on a personal level are not good enough. But yeah, it's a big journey, as we all might know. Apps are a big thing to go.
Yeah, they're definitely not a small journey, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
cool. So where
Yeah.
are you in the process? Like where are you today?
I'm quite done already, I think. Just like I've started to get into some of the launch stuff, and I'm currently making everything, fine-tuning the onboarding and stuff like that. And I just wanted to ask you about some stuff. I got this sheet from Caleb, and I've ticked up some stuff and rewritten the privacy policy and stuff like that. I would just like to get an opinion from you, as that's something important, I think, to add these terms and terms of conditions and privacy policy links directly here. Should they just be a link that goes to my website and I add the privacy policy there as a page? Or how would you structure something like that in the best case?
So you only need your privacy policy on the paywall. You need privacy policy and terms of service on the paywall. And then I believe you also need it in the settings page of your app, but you don't need it here on the sign up.
Okay. I was just looking at some references from Hinge dating app, and I saw it on the login. But yeah, the thing is, I don't even have paid features yet because it doesn't make sense at this point. But so
you do
mean
need a privacy policy, like you should.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. If anybody else like Phil, who's launched their app, want to share where they added their privacy policy, that would be cool. But mine is in the settings page of my app and then on the paywall.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it on create account as well as all of the paywalls.
Yeah, okay. I have it on I have a page in the app that settings goes to, but I also have links on the account setup that go to my website.
So you're just referencing them out and having the link, and it opens up on your website.
So the official App Store, let me share my screen, but the official App Store documentation says this. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
It says all apps must include a link to their privacy policy in the App Store Connect metadata field and within the app in an easily accessible manner. The privacy policy must clearly and explicitly identify what data the app service collects, how it collects, and our template covers this. Confirm that any third-party data with whom an app shares, such as analytics tools. Yep. So pretty much the biggest takeaway is easily accessible manner. So I don't think they're looking for it in a specific place. It just needs to be easy.
Okay. So I'll just add it where it makes much sense. And then another thing that's not too clear yet, and I've messed up something in the setup. It's not a mess up, but I would love to have more control of how it looks. And it's basically that whenever I'm making a Google login, I got to see that this beautiful starter Firebase ID that for some reason I didn't change when I started this whole journey is always going to show up whenever I log in with Google. So it's cool that I'm making some indirect references to Ambitious Labs, but I would have like, I saw that there's a point where I should like change.
You can probably change it. And yeah, we
you
don't.
can change it. I had the same issue.
Yeah, you can change it. And yeah,
What I saw is the project ID isn't able to get changed. So can I make a new setup? Is there going to be anything lost, or?
I'm going to check on my side first.
You already launched into the app stores?
No.
Okay, so yeah, you can change it. It's going to be tricky when you launch because they have reference to that, so you'd have to resubmit it as a new app if you did that. But before you do that, yeah, you can absolutely change it. It's real easy.
Yeah. Okay.
The only setting I see here in Firebase.
Yeah, the project name, but the project ID, and I've already looked up.
I think this is what you want to change, right?
Yeah.
I did it in Flutterflow, if I remember correctly.
No, Phil, you might be talking about something different because like this is a unique ID that's like static.
Right. Yeah. I don't remember. It was a while ago, but I thought I did it in there, but I did it when I first started the launching process. Caleb showed it to me.
But if I'm just creating a new kind of project here and link it up, I don't know.
But then
you may just have to create a new project. Yeah. But it's not like too big of a deal because honestly, man, like users will only see that for like a split second. But if you if you're worried about it, then just bite the bullet today and change it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, we don't need the extra marketing. I promise you that. It's just I want you to be happy with it.
That's great. Thank you so much for this. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm quite good for now. I had something in mind, but
no worries.
If the word.
Anything pops up, you can use Discord or just ask your question again, and then please join as many office hours as you like.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll do so.
No worries. There are a couple people I wanted to hear from specifically. Carlos, what's up, man? Welcome in. I don't think we've got a chance to work closely together. Would love to get to know what you're working on and where you are today.
Hi, Alim. Hi, everyone. No, this is actually the first time that I've been able to join one of your office hours. So I'm like build-wise, probably I'm like 99%. I have almost everything built already, but I'm stuck with Revenue Cat. By talking to Phil, I was under the impression that I had to submit my app to be reviewed first, and then before I can actually use the pay buttons on my paywall. And then I submitted to Apple. They review it. They asked me to do some changes. I do those changes. They approve that part. When they review it again, they say that the payment buttons were not working properly. So I'm like in chicken and egg. I don't know what to do first, right? So I'm stuck in that part. So first, I thought that the issue was that the Revenue Cat was not working because my app hasn't been approved or is not on the App Store yet. But then App Store is telling me that I have to enable the payment buttons before they can approve it. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong or what I need to do now.
Yeah, I've faced some of these issues too. Do you mind sharing your screen? Are you okay with that?
Sure. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it. So the first thing I want to understand is click on any one of your buttons and show me the action flow editor. And I know we have some others in the call right now who have done Revenue Cat, so I can get a few different pairs of eyes. Click on any of your purchase actions, action 1 or action 6. Okay, cool. So you have package identifier. Drop that down, please.
Now, given like the main difference with like following the videos is that I'm not following like a premium. What I'm doing is a 7 or 14-day trial, but then I only have like pay options, right? I don't have like free accounts. So I have 4 different packages on my revenue cat, like monthly and yearly essential and monthly and yearly premier.
Okay. So you have like coded in the package identifier right there with the $sign. Where did you get that value from? That package identifier value? Where'd you get that from?
From revenue cat directly from the.
Can you show me that, please?
Yeah, let me share that screen as well. So I'm just
Has anybody else done it that way, or has everyone else done the way that I teach, where it's you select the term length, like annual, monthly?
I had to do it that way because I had a premium monthly and a basic monthly. I didn't have any.
So you did it this way too, Phil, where you have
Yep.
like the coded in package identifier?
Yeah.
Alim, I followed your guidance.
So I took these identifiers from the offerings on revenue cat.
Okay.
So these are the 4 offerings, like the ones that say annual are the essentials. I mean, like just like the regular, and then underscore premier. These are the premier options.
I see.
And I have 2 products on each. These are all my products.
Okay, good. So go back to offerings, please. Click on default. Okay, so the identifier looks fine. Can you click on one of those identifiers? It takes you to another page when you click on it, right? Yeah. Okay, so the package identifier. That's good. Okay. So now the next thing I want to check is your App Store Connect to see what the status of that subscription is. Everyone's using Arc these days. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I feel like I should. My computer is a mess. And all you guys are using that, and I need to figure it out.
Is it that different?
It deletes your open tabs, and that is great.
Yeah, for tab addicts like us, for sure.
Yeah, and also like RAM usage.
Yeah, my computer has been so hot I could fry an egg on it these days, so I definitely would like that. Okay, so back to the main page. I want to see. Well, actually, yeah. Let me look at the.
You want to see
review.
submission, the notes?
Yeah, let me see what they said there,
Okay.
please.
So this is pretty much like the business payment. They're saying like here, like the buttons doesn't work, basically.
Yeah. Okay. And then the subscription payments.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, add the terms of use. I'm sure you're going to do that.
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay.
Already changed all of
So
this.
so go back to the main page of App Store Connect, like the, like click on iOS app 1.0 rejected. Correct. Yep. Okay, now scroll all the way down. Slowly go down more. More. Keep going. Keep going. Scroll up. Keep going. No, you should see subscriptions either here. No, keep going up, please. You can go a little bit faster. Okay, no subscriptions there. Go to.
I have the subscription here.
Yeah, but it should ask you to add the subscription to the build, right?
Because the subscriptions, they are it is like your first subscription must be submitted with a new app version. So it looks like the subscription, they are like on standby.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you should have to attach a subscription to your app version. I think John and Phil can help me out here, but I'm about to log into my account to check this out.
Well, I don't see where from here, so probably that's the issue.
256-264. Yeah, somebody else had this issue just last week. 256-264.
I started to do it that way. I just looked at mine, and Caleb, and it wasn't working. I couldn't get it to work, and Caleb walked me through actually doing it with the name instead of the identifier. I never was able to get that to work.
Okay, I do have a session booked already with Caleb next week, though.
Well, hold on. I want to find out right now. Could have swore that you had to select subscriptions on the build level.
If I click on the build, then it will take me to the test flight. I don't know if from here I have to select the subscription or what.
Uh, okay, so go back to your subscriptions tab.
Okay.
Okay. And then click on your subscription group that is your main subscription group. Yeah. Good.
Like both my subscription groups are like waiting for review because it looks like they have to approve the app first in order for like the subscription to be reviewed after.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Create your subscription, then select it from the in-app purchases and subscription section on the version page. Like that's what we're missing here. Where is that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know where's that option.
Go back to subscriptions. Click on the version page 1.0 rejected.
Okay.
I think I know why.
This part is painful. So you'll have to remove. I had the same issue. You have to remove the build and resubmit a new build, and then it'll pop up. Like it won't be there when you're looking for it right now. It has to be on a new build that you add, and then it pops up.
But like, for example, this build I added like 3 days ago, and my subscription were there like a month before.
John's right. Click on the red.
So I remove this build?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Then add a new build.
And then I just choose the last one?
The latest one, whatever's the latest.
Yeah, this one.
And now scroll down. Or I think, John, you have to cancel the whole release, I'm pretty sure.
You might have to. Yeah, it was really frustrating for me. Like I had to Google it, and then I read a bunch of documentation, and eventually
yeah. No, I think you're 100% right. We need to cancel this release, and it will give us the option to do that.
How?
Go to the top left, 1.0 rejected. Kind of hover over that. Okay, or go to view submission. Click on the right hand side. It says view submission in the red box. Yeah, and then we need to kill this submission somehow. Scroll down.
Is there an action? There's an
Right
edit.
there it is. Cancel. Okay, now go back to 1.0 rejected. You have an app review cancellation in progress. You can resubmit the items for review after the cancellation is complete. Okay. Refresh the page.
Yeah, I think it has been canceled already.
Yeah, go find your build. Wherever that was.
Scroll down.
Yeah, scroll down. Remove it and add it again. Was this the same one that was rejected?
Yep.
Yeah, you need a new one.
There's that, and I also don't think the actual submission has been canceled because it still says 1.0 rejected. We need that to go back to waiting for review.
Okay, so I need to submit a new I need to submit a new version that I need this to be back to review and then add my new build. But then what Phil was saying, that he was basically doing the same way I'm doing, and he had to check with Caleb how to do it by name because my package identifier didn't work. Because, for example, if I open now my app, because I have my test flight on my iPhone, if I click on my buttons, then nothing happens. It's like the button doesn't have any action.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to until you're approved into the app stores, because it goes through revenue cap, but the app stores actually handle the purchase and subscriptions.
Yeah.
So you
Here's the how-to from Apple. Here's the article. It's in the chat. And if you don't see that screen, it's an order of operations problem.
Okay, we're gonna try to follow this.
Submit it in a purchase for the first time like that.
Okay, so basically now I have to wait until this gets go back to review, then follow this process with a new build.
Yeah. Then it should pop.
You are going to see, yeah, like don't submit this until you see an option on this page that says add a subscription to the build, and it will make you add it.
Okay, but then at the same time, before sending a new version right here, a new deployment, I need to check with Caleb first, because just about what Phil is saying, it looks like it's not right the way that I'm doing by the package identifier.
Now, it doesn't mean that you can't get it to work, but because there's the variables and everything in there to do that. But I failed everything. It went in there good, and I just couldn't get it to work. But Caleb walked me through just using the names.
Okay.
Because the names are unique. They're not. You didn't copy the names between them, so it should still be able to identify it by that.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to confirm that it's true that Apple needs to approve it first before the actual buttons to work.
No, they don't need to approve first. It will work at the same time that they are waiting for review.
Right.
Okay. So it's not. So okay. So I got it. So it's not working because whenever I add my build, I didn't add the subscription along with the build.
The build and the subscription have to be linked together. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And then if the build and the subscription are together here, I can test and the button should work even though the app has not been approved.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have a question for you. Is it working in test flight? Because it should work in test flight.
It
Correct.
isn't.
It should work in test flight.
Can you go back to test flight,
Yeah.
Carlos?
All right, guys. I got to bounce. Thank you so much.
John, you need anything? I'm sorry. Thank you for.
No, I'm good. I'm fixing my onboarding. So, yeah, guys, have a great Labor Day weekend. Appreciate all your help and good luck.
Thank you for the info, John.
Take care, man.
Have a good weekend.
Now, Alim,
No, so test flight is not working.
something that I don't understand. Okay, so his version is 1.1.4, but if you go back to your main screen there, where it shows your app. Okay, you see up there where the build is 1.0. Now, if the only time I've changed versions, I was already approved, so I was just resubmitting a new build, and I had to add the version to that. So that's not reflecting the version that you're showing there for that build.
Yeah,
No.
so basically because I've never changed the 1.0 here, the only thing that I'm changing each time I submit a new
It doesn't
version
matter.
for
It
Tesla
reads your
is here.
build. It reads your build. So if you don't have a 1.1.4, then it's not going to. You can't even put it in review or anything. You have to add that. So, but like I said, I was already in there, so I had a little plus sign, so I could add it because I was already approved. So you might mention that to Caleb, show that and see if that's an issue, and if there's a way around it, because you don't have a plus sign, and it might show up once you're canceled. But right above that, it should be a little plus sign. You add that and you add a new version.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, so that right up there under iOS app, it should
Right here.
yeah, it's not reflecting your version. And like I said, I don't know if that's an issue or not because I don't
think it's an issue. That number is like the public facing number on the App Store. It should update over time. Like as you add more, you should keep that updated. But I don't think that's the main issue here.
Okay.
Okay, but one thing that I do want to crack right now is this should work in test flight, Carlos. So if it's not working in test flight, then we have a different problem.
Yeah, it's not working at all. I mean, when I clicked the button on my iPhone test flight, yeah.
Okay, I have one question. Did you accept the paid app agreement in the business tab? Go over to click the business tab on the top right. This was also a very painful thing for me to learn. See, look, I don't think you've accepted your paid apps agreement. Right there. See, look, to offer apps or in-app purchases, you must look at the top blue box up there. To offer apps or other in-app purchases, you must either update your legal entity information prior to signing the paid apps agreement. This is probably what's stopping you from everything. And if you want to stop sharing your screen, you can.
I see.
They do not make that very clear. I will add that in for our notes to make sure you guys do that.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay, so I'll retry that. I'm gonna work on this stuff, and if it's not working, then I'm gonna check with Caleb when I have.
No, but that should work. Accept the paid apps agreement, and then try it in test flight, and that honestly should work.
Okay, so test flight should work regardless of the approval bill, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if this is what it's preventing to work, I don't know. I've been stuck like 3 weeks just on this.
Crap. Sorry about that.
Okay, so now it's asking to add the bank account information, tax form, and all that.
Yeah, it needs to know who to pay, and it needs to make sure that you're compliant. So yeah, that's probably the problem.
Okay.
Cool,
Okay.
Carlos. Good luck.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Alim, does that work in the Play Store too, where you can test your app before it's approved?
I'm not gonna lie. I have been very bad about testing things in the Play Store, so I don't know the answer. Caleb would be better to answer that.
Okay, because my next app, it'd be nice to know I could test it.
I'm pretty sure actually the Play Store has a really good testing kind of environment where you can test. It's just that you have to download a certain build off of the, what do they call it? The testing track. It needs to come off the testing track in order for it to detect that it's, a testing transaction.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. I'd love to meet Kyle and Sabine. I don't think we've had a chance to meet. I'd love to hear who y'all are, what you're working on. Is it Sabine? I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. I'm always called Alim or Alim, and I'll always live that life. Kyle?
I'm here. Yep.
Right on. Yeah, would love to get a chance to learn about you guys and what you're working on, if you're comfortable.
Yeah. Who is it going to start? Is it Kyle?
Go ahead, since you're on mute. Go ahead, Sabine.
Great.
Is it Sabine? Did I pronounce your name correctly?
It's fine. Sabine. Yeah, Sabine. Whatever. It's fine.
No. I want to make sure it's correct.
It's Sabine.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Where are you located?
I live in Waterloo. It's near Brussels.
Okay, cool.
It's where Napoleon got defeated for good. Whatever. So I'm working at an app. It's actually 3 apps. I'm sorry.
You know how I feel about that.
It's 2 apps that are desktop type and the one that's mobile app. So these 3 are a system of apps. It's like it's an expert AI system designed to streamline the anesthesia consultations. So the idea is that at least in the first world countries, anesthesiologists are paid with big salaries, like hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. And a medium-sized clinic has like 6 or 7 operating rooms. They need 1 or 2 anesthesiologists every day to make only consultations. So this is a very repetitive task that uses very clear guidelines. So this can be done very efficiently by a chatbot with some logic. So there's a lot of desk job that needs to be automated.
Nice.
So
very cool.
This will make life easier for anesthesiologists. This will decrease the number of hours worked, maybe eventually. So you have to pay less than anesthesiologists. Anyway, nobody wants an anesthesiologist to do consultations. A clinic, a hospital makes money when they do operations. So you need the anesthesiologist in the operating room, not in the consultations. You're not making money like that.
Right.
So this is an aspect. Another one is that by interacting with, this is my hypothesis, by interacting with a chatbot from a patient's perspective, it relieves a lot of anxiety, because you can ask questions whenever you want. You forgot something, you get back and you put another question. You get a to-do list that is made by the anesthesiologist. So you have written everything that you have to do. Stop eating at that hour, stop drinking. This is how you manage your medication. You have to shower, you shower like this, you use this product, whatever, for the instructions. So this is an aspect. Another one is that if patients come to the hospital, this is especially true for the one-day patients. So those that come in the morning, they get a colonoscopy or a small surgery, even intermediate surgery, and they go back later in the day. So if they come in the morning and they're not properly prepared, if they have taken certain medication, like anticoagulants, they forgot, they didn't understand. Or they come for a colonoscopy, but they didn't do the colon preparation right.
Right.
So it's a lot of.
It's like is it patient triage? Like it's kind of understanding. No,
okay. Not really. So you have the desktop app that's at the front desk at the clinic, So that's where the patient is registered at first, So it's someone at the clinic that does the onboarding,
Understood.
Takes the name, date of procedure, what type of procedure, the surgeon, the clinic site, because you might have different sites, the same clinic, but they have 3 sites.
Understood.
That's where the onboarding goes. The patient gets an email with the password and the username. He downloads the app. He enters with the credentials that have been provided. And then he follows a workflow, and he uses his camera and OCR technology to extract the data from the drug box or the drug label, and then this info gets passed through a chatbot. So you use NLP to extract the relevant information. And what's nice with this is that it extracts even more that is given. So, for example, I've tested it, Google Vision API. So you upload an image with the drug box, and it extracts everything, even the brand of the pharmaceutical company, everything that's written. But you don't need everything as an anesthesiologist. You only need the drug name, the commercial name, the active principle, the substance, that's in the drug,
Right.
and the dosage, 40 milligrams, 20, and that's it.
Yep.
But you want to know also the class of drugs. For example, ChatGPT knows it already has in its knowledge base that active principle is a part of benzodiazepine or beta blocker,
For sure.
So it can give you even more that it is written on the label. So that's really awesome.
Okay. So cool. Sabine, I pulled up your profile here and I see that you are an anesthesiologist and you've been a doctor for 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So you have the domain expertise, and I'm glad we have a doctor in case anything happens to us on the call. We are all protected here, so good. And the app name is Anisplan. Is that the app name?
Anis pre-op, because
Anispria.
it works kind of okay in English and in French.
Yep.
My
Okay,
plan
cool.
is to build it with your help, of course, and then it's not worth a lot without proper validation,
Absolutely.
So we need to validate it in a university center that has a good badge, that offers the seal of quality, So I'm gonna see with
I see on your profile you work for St. Pierre University Hospital. Is that where you expect to do some validation?
No, I'm gonna go to Strasbourg.
Okay.
Those are cooler.
Okay. Yeah.
The University Hospital from Strasbourg. That's where I worked for 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are serious guys, and I'm gonna do it with them.
Nice. Very cool. Sweet, man. Well, I see you're on the business model phase, so definitely work with Andres and the Super Brain. Get your business model in. Would love to learn I would love to hear about your experience once you finish that. So the Super Brain is our AI tool that we are also using to help people build out their business models and move quicker. So Andreas will be making sure that your business model is solid to begin with, and then you'll move into the design phase.
I've used Super Brain with Andres. He sent me a link, and I got a step-by-step approach, step-by-step response from Super Brain. It's totally pertinent and valid, but I don't know. I'm waiting to see more.
Yeah. Well, we do this to make sure that everyone has a clear path to there's a user base out there, there's a market need, there's some level of a business plan in place. And so traditionally before you probably joined, we were doing all this on a Google Doc. And so the Super Brain is now a much more streamlined way for you to have a conversation, and it'll ask you some important questions so that it can land on at least one version of a business model that you can commit to. So once you get right past the business model phase, you're going to move into the design phase, which is a lot more fun. That's where you're going to start building. So it shouldn't take you very long, 20 minutes max, and you'll be on the next phase.
I'll be honest with you. I am currently using Gemini ChatGPT, and I have the specific conversation that I just continue and add questions, and it's probably similar with your Super Brain. Maybe Super Brain has some custom knowledge in it, so it knows some specific things that maybe ChatGPT or Gemini are not that good at.
No, it's very well trained. It's trained on everyone's kind of inputs and outputs, and it's listening to this call right now with the Fireflies coach. And so, yeah, it's consistently being updated with everyone's context, and it actually is learning about you as you talk. Like that whole time you talked, it took your Google Meet ID, it sent it to the database, and now we have all that information about you. So Abdullah has been going crazy with the whole implementation of it. So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, you'll even see wait 20 minutes. I think we have a cron job running every 20 minutes that updates the data. you can ask the Superbrain about your app, and it will pick up all the information from this conversation.
That's cool. All right. Yeah.
Should be pretty cool.
Cool.
Awesome, Sabine. Well, welcome in. I noticed you just joined, so please feel
Thank
free to
you.
join office hours. My specific office hours are for launching. So as you get closer to this point, we'll work together.
Yeah. So yeah, it's early for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, welcome
Thank
in
you.
and
Thank you.
and good luck.
Thank you.
Ron and Randy, and Kyle, if you have anything for me, I would love for you to introduce yourself too.
Yeah, I can introduce myself real quick.
Cool, please.
So I'm working on an app called Worship Freak, short for frequency. And it basically is for church worship leaders and singers to better know what songs fit their vocal range. So like in the onboarding, they have to enter in their highest, lowest notes, what key they sing comfortably in. And then from there, the app does its back end work to just log that information and then calculates any song they look up, you know, by taking the song's original key and its high and low points vocal. It just calculates that to what would fit the best, like highest part of their range that's comfortable for power for them to say, oh, this is the key, you should sing this in, suggest it. So I just, like I mentioned in the chat, I just got off the call with praisecharts.com, which is like a big basic song database of worship songs. So they're allowing me to have full access to their database for free, which is awesome, to pull in all that information. And they already have, I didn't know how I was going to do this myself. I was thinking maybe just ChatGPT or something like that to AI to get that information, but this will be way more accurate because they've already done all the work themselves. So that's basically it. And then what's a cool feature of the app is as a user, you can invite people to your team so that once they join your team, when you look up a song, you can also have a list of their profile and what key best fit their voices. So like if you're planning like a service, you know, and you want different people to lead, not just you, you can see, oh, I think this would work for them for collaboration.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea. Phil is also music tech founder, so he's working on something in music tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself expanding past where they have resources to, there is tons of sheet music for just about every popular song that you can find on the internet charts, and AI would be able to easily read that and see the range. But that's awesome. I wish I would have had that my whole entire life.
There's
my whole career.
there's Phil's doing that, and then there's also Jed. Jed is, yeah. Okay, so you've met or seen or met Jed around the block. So cool. Jed's also doing something similar. I'm very curious to learn how you guys like interface with voice models and actually like, you know, have the AI listen to the voice.
I'm not doing that with mine. I wanted to originally, the way the onboarding flow is where they could just sing it, you know, but that was just too complex to try to do for this, for the MVP. So we're just like, let's just make this simple. So they basically, I put in like a grid of all the notes and they can click the note and it'll play the sound of that note. So they just use that as a reference to say, oh, I can go this high. And then they have to plug in the note name.
Yo, that's pretty cool. That's clever. That's really clever. Right on. And then I don't think like the whole incorporating the singing logic will be too terribly complex. I am on top of Flutterflow right now. Just on a call with them. Was it today or yesterday? All these days are blurring. Yesterday, and I was like, hey, we need a better voice recording widget and sound record widget because the one right now doesn't really work for web. It only works for mobile and it's kind of clunky. So I definitely want to see Flutterflow improve their voice support so that we can all build voice apps because I think that's the future for sure. Oh, cool, Kyle. And then how long have you been in the program? I actually don't see your tracker, so I'm a little confused why.
I've been in late June.
Did you fill out the onboarding form?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kyle Bart's right here. My bad.
I'm back, Alim. June, July.
It's called Worship Freak.
Yeah.
I like how it's a Q for the freak. That's dope.
Mhm. Like that's good marketing. Can be.
No, yeah, anything kind of like edgy these days is good. Nice. And then you're on phase 10. So like you're moving along. Where are you in your app?
The back end of the custom function to calculate has been the hardest part to figure out, but I got really close this last weekend. So me and Andres are actually meeting Monday to hopefully just finalize that part of it. And then now the integration with Praise Charts is the last thing, because not only do I have access to their database, but they're gonna use my app and me as an affiliate. So like if any, which I wasn't expecting this is awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's really, really cool.
So like people can get the actual PDF chord charts, an added feature, but they have to have an account, right, with Praise Charts. So then if they go through my app, then I'll get a small percentage, but that's really cool. So figuring out how to do that, because that's a whole another complex thing, because
maybe in the beginning you could just like load up a Google Sheet or load up like a database yourself and not do the hard integration. But maybe that's one option. But if there's an API, then you could integrate their API. Do they have an API?
Yeah, that's what I'm using. For that part will be pretty simple for the database. I'm talking about the getting the chord charts part, because like you have to go through OAuth to like author it, and so that's a whole nother step with them. But we're gonna try to figure that out.
One idea you could do is have like one OAuth user and just like use that one user to keep the integration alive. I would have to look at the docs and kind of see how it works.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, on the call that I just had, he said right now, sorry if you're hearing my dogs, they're trying to play.
That's all right.
They are going to do single users, but they're going to move eventually to like there's one login for like an organization, and each user has their own. So it'll have to be set up a totally different, more integrated way for that. But
I got you. But it sounds like you have it under control. That's really impressive.
No, I've never done this. I've never done that. So I'm like,
okay, well, you're
I
speaking the
understand
language.
in theory, but you know, the tangibility of doing it all, it's beyond me. So
You're hacking it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll talk to Andreas when I meet with him tomorrow. I'd love to join in on one of your guys' like office hours where you're cracking some of the integration stuff just to listen in. So I'll get some information from him tomorrow.
Because after that, then I should be able to move on to the next phase, right? I think.
Yeah. I mean, once you have, the core of the app done and you feel as if it's ready to ship and get first users, then yeah, you're ready to move on. As long as you have that like simplify mindset of like, hey, is this absolutely necessary? Like, can I simplify this? Is there anything I can do to like manually integrate in the meantime? Like, that's all we can ask. But yeah, that's the goal here.
Yeah.
Cool, Kyle.
Can I make a small remark? I mean, I think it's an awesome idea. That's really cool, but I think it would be really, really nice, like the cornerstone of this app, to have AI determine what kind of vocal range a user has. I mean, it would be cool. I mean, even I'm not a singer, I'm a terrible singer, but even I would be interested to know what kind of vocal range I would have, if I would have an answer given by an AI, or what singer I look like or something like that. That would be awesome.
Kyle, there's this one app I've been studying called Vocal Image. Have you heard of it? I just sent you a link. But Sabine, thanks for the feedback. It's cool. I just sent you this link to Vocal Image. They're doing like hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in revenue. I'm sure they spend a ton of money on advertising, but it's a really interesting app where they like have voice exercises and they like listen to your voice and give you feedback on it. Check it out when you can. I sent you the link.
Yeah, on mine, I do have a page that it is different warm-ups and exercises, but I just did only just YouTube links to all that I thought that I'm like super good resources.
Yeah,
I would love to create my own eventually, my own content for that. because I found this other app, I forget what it's called right now, but they have it so like MIDI and the way it like you can sing as you're doing it, and it shows the pitch like if you're below or above it, like vocally. Like it's pretty high tech, all the exercise. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I wish I could, get to that point at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just taking a note here.
I can tell if you want to ever look at it. It's called Musician. I'm right in there.
Oh, I've heard of that one for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just had a list of every singer I've worked with, and I'm going to send that link to that app.
Oh wow.
So they can know if they're flat.
Oh my gosh. That's actually funny. Nice. Well, thanks, Kyle. Good luck, and we'll be here. Ron, Randy, Ron. How can we help both of you?
Hey there. I'll go first. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I was wondering if I could get your feedback on my onboarding screens. Do we have time for that?
Yeah, always, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then, Randy, when we do our one-on-one, I actually do this privately too, but if you're cool doing it now, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Either way, it works fine for me.
Cool.
So I have 3 onboarding screens.
Sorry,
One
I'm gonna cut you off for 1 second. I never got your test flight access today.
Oh, you didn't? Because it said that it sent it to you.
Okay,
I'll
give me
check it again.
No, let me check again first. My phone is so slow these days. No, I don't have it. Please check again. I definitely want to go through it. When you can. Go ahead though.
Okay. So I've got 3 screens. The first one highlights, the purpose of the first one is to highlight the benefits of the adventure stories, because that's the niche of the product. The second one is intended to highlight the free features, and then the third one highlights all of the pro features.
So Randy, when a user first downloads the app, they're going to land right here on onboarding A.
That's correct.
Okay, good. Interact with adventure stories. I think your headline has to be the boldest statement that you can make. Where's this book? Once you get to this point, you need this book, wherever my camera is. Copywriting
Secrets. Okay.
And I'll read out one line about headlines, but your headline is the biggest opportunity that you have to make a statement to your customer. You should be selling a really bold statement there. For example, there's an app called Reframe that helps you quit drinking. It's quit drinking alcohol. That's a really bold statement to make, right? I think here you need to have a statement if it has to do with your child, it's something like level up your child's, creativity through adventure stories, or help your child solve problems through adventure stories, or something that sells an aspiration or an outcome for the child.
Okay.
That's my biggest feedback here is headlines. You can have a really ugly looking page, but if you have a very powerful headline, that can absolutely skyrocket conversion rates. And that's actually something that Adrian has taught me, where pages don't need to look pretty. It needs to just tell a really good story. So my number one feedback, just loud and clear, is the headline. You want to sell a really bold statement there.
Okay. That's great feedback.
And then I love your subheadings, but it's really hard to read that. You have white and a lot of different things going on in the background. Remember that you're selling right now. You don't have time to, or you can't take the risk of somebody not understanding your sales message. So having that background is very risky in a point in time where you need to you need to convince someone to take their, money out of their wallet. So I would rethink the background a little bit. I'm sure there's a way you can make that work, but it needs to be very easy to read all that text.
Okay.
Once they give you money, then you can take a lot more risk design-wise.
Well, and this is exactly what I was looking for. Like, this was my first draft of it, and I just,
It looks gorgeous.
put together.
It looks sweet. Like, that's really, really cool looking.
Me and my Lottie files. I have a little too much fun with them, I think.
So that's my feedback there. And then the next buttons, you should try to make them full width if you can. Like, try to stretch as much of the screen as possible.
Okay.
And then, like, I think your button is also like blending in too much with the background. Like, it's the same color as the sky, which is not a good thing. It needs to be a very high contrast button, so that it's obvious that it's a button and that you need to click on it.
Okay.
Other than that, good. We can go to the next one.
This one to me was just way too wordy, but
Are you asking any questions in the onboarding flow?
no, I'm not.
You need to be asking
not.
questions.
So I could, but I wanted to just kind of highlight what's free and then what you pay for. Like, what are the benefits that you're going to get with the pro features? So that's what these two are. But I could ask questions like, what's the age of your child? What are their interests? Stuff like that, just to get them engaged and interacting. But I won't use that information at all because it's a kid's application. And when you start collecting data and information on someone, then your terms and conditions and your
you know your market better than I do.
Yeah.
I don't think this won't work. Like, I think it can absolutely convert. It's just that, like, my framework that I teach all of y'all is the whole question asking framework, where it's ask strategic questions that make the user admit to themselves that they have a problem that needs to be solved.
Okay.
Like, for example, one of your questions can be, what is your goal for your child? Right. And then you strategically ask, you strategically give them 4 different options. I want my
Okay.
child to solve problems better. I want my child to stop playing video games. And like, you make these selections very like inversely, like tied to their struggle, but then also it's like, oh damn, like how does this app know that my child plays so many video games? Like, how does this app know that I want my child to be a better problem solver? Does that make sense where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
So that's why the question asking framework works really well in apps, because like it makes the user admit to themselves that they have a problem, and then it also like gets them to trust that your app is the solution for that problem. So that's why I like asking questions.
Okay.
I hear you getting a little excited there.
Yeah, I was puzzled with really what to do with these onboarding screens. Like, I really needed like
No, it's worth testing.
brainstorming session.
It looks sweet and it's worth testing. I've just never seen it done like that. But if your market of people like moms like can relate to this type of design and relate to this type of copy, then it may work.
Yeah.
But
well, my sister who downloaded it said, she's like, oh, I just jumped the screen so fast I didn't even read them. I'm like, okay, then I need to make people stop and read them so they get the value. And that was my trigger to go, oh, maybe I should go get some advice on these, because
questions will make them stop and really think through it. Because if you don't, and they say in this book and in copywriting and in .com secrets, it's like, you don't want users who aren't reading your copy. Like, those aren't going to be good users. They're not even going to pay. You want users who are going to read the copy, and those who understand the copy are going to be the ones who trust you and buy from you. So I love what you learned. It was like, if you don't make them stop and do something, they're just going to skip right through it.
Yeah. And so for like the pro feature, and and maybe I need to go out and I need to search for like how people are doing this a little bit better, but like this is the true value of subscribing, right? You get unlimited stories, you get access to the videos, you get your own personal library, and you get a seamless pickup where you left off. But I don't know how to convey that without like all of this wordiness that goes along with it.
So I'm just like regurgitating the book, but like less is more. It's like
Yeah.
you don't need to tell them every single thing. You should just be able to say like unlimited stories.
Period.
Well, unlimited stories. I like how you say like dive into endless adventures anytime. Like I think that's clean. Entertaining videos. Like that's you selling a feature, and we don't want to sell features. We want to sell benefits. Like the benefits of this are not entertaining videos. The benefits of it are, you know, life-changing videos, like skill building videos. Like, so ask yourself this question, like, am I selling a feature there, or am I selling what's going to happen to that person after they consume that feature? Like personal library could be something like curated to your needs, or curated based on your interest, or personalized to your interest, right? People like personalization. So I think overall your paywall value propositions are decent. Like I don't think you need to overthink that. I think the pro features could be something like instead of saying pro at the top, you should say something like unlock full access. You always want to, like, whenever you're thinking about copy, everybody, and I know we don't talk much about copy in the program yet, but we should, and we will soon. You always want to have verbs, like leading verbs, like unlock, discover, eliminate, become a, like you're always selling to someone an outcome. You're not selling to them the features. You don't go to the Bahamas, you know, thinking about sitting on a plane between two fat people in economy. You think about going to the Bahamas and enjoying your time there on the beach, right? So
Yeah.
like it's just a very like cliche sales term. Like you sell the destination, not the plane ticket.
That gives me a lot to go on. Thank you very much.
No worries. That was fun. And then once I get your test flight link, I can go through it more and give you a Loom video with some feedback. And I think Carlos asked you a question in the chat.
Yes,
All right,
they're Lottie files. And Canva now has, if you use Canva at all, it integrates with Lottie's. So you can add them to whatever you want in Canva and then export them as a GIF, which works better than a Lottie file, in my opinion, unless you're paying for the JSONs.
That's a good piece of feedback.
Cool. Thank you. I give it a try.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. I do have one small ask. If you guys can leave us a review on Google if you haven't already. We're trying to push 100. It's really hard to say 66, and it's just kind of an odd number. And we have like a lot of builders in the program, so we really want to see 100 reviews, and they can be your honest reviews. So we'd love if you guys took a chance to just quickly write a review on Google, and you could even say like, I'm not all the way done with the program, but so far it's been 3 stars, 4 stars, whatever. And you can always come back and edit it later, but would love just your entry there. So thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Please take some time to recharge, and we'll get right back to it. See ya.
Thank you, Lim.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.